what we believe in. This is Canada!
I trust Canadians. There is no place I'd rather be than Canada.
There is a cost of living.
Like
this is my third
feel
job.
like
I work
they're
3 jobs, so
drowning
it is expensive. I agree.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this channel. Before we jump in, I just wanted to say a few words. I'm originally from Mexico, and I had the chance to study in Canada for 2 years. My English might not be perfect when I speak, but I know many of you out of there, especially from international communities, understand how tough it can be to express yourself in a different language. That's exactly why I started this video series, to keep improving my English and to share my thoughts on the marketing and advertisement campaigns that shape our everyday lives. What's the power of marketing strategies? Well, today we're diving into a topic that, whether we realize or not, touch all of us, sometimes directly, other times indirectly. The power of marketing strategies to shape or even mold our everyday decisions can be as small as what we buy at the grocery store, as big as chasing the dream of starting a new life abroad.
What's stopping you from moving to Canada as a PR in 2025?
And honestly, what better example than Canada? It's a country that has been sold to the world as the ultimate dream destination for international students and skilled workers. But here's the real question. It is everything as perfect as they make it seem in their ads, or it is just smoke and mirrors?
Canada is the best country in the world. And we, as Canadians, are stepping up. Got us through the pandemic. Canadians got us through.
For decades, Canada has promoted as dreamland, not just for students, but for the highest skilled workers too. We're talking about messages like study in Canada and become a permanent resident, or a strong and inclusive job market. This narrative isn't random. It's been carefully crafted by the massive education and immigration industry, which pull in billions of dollars each year by drawing in investments from people all over the globe. Just a quick breakdown. Multiculturalism, a major selling point for those looking for an inclusive environment. Work and residency. The PGWP program seems promising, but does it really deliver? Cost of living. More and more people are juggling 2 or even 3 jobs just to get by. The reality of international students and workers.
This message is for Africans that want to come to Canada. Don't. And let me be very honest, why? Alright? They'll tell you, oh, they can get you jobs here. But what they don't tell you is that the jobs that they're giving you is ones Canadians don't even want to do themselves. Alright? You leave your job over in Africa, you're probably a banker, someone ranked very high and respected, and you come here to be a cleaner? You come here and they put you in a position to be a farmer? Like, the mere disrespect, and it's not like you're not paying your way. You're paying, and you're paying a hefty fine to come here and create a better life. But the disrespect, like, I'm sorry, I find that as very disrespectful, because I know for a fact that if it was a white person or any person that was Canadian that came to Africa, y'all would have kissed their ass and put them in a higher position. Well, guess what? They ain't doing that for you, boo-boo. They are not.
The cost of living in Canada is sick.
There is no more cost of living. There is only cost of surviving. My girlfriend and I met for coffees the other day, and she owes a little bit of money to the government, and she was crying to me, crying, saying, I don't know what to do. I'm working 3 jobs. I'm a single mother. Like, I can't afford to live here anymore. So she had a call with the CRA, and the CRA ripped her heart. They said it is unacceptable that you have not maxed out your credit cards to pay us. It is not acceptable that you are paying $1,000 a month in groceries for yourself and your 3 children. You need to cut back. So she said to them, you're telling me that you want me to take the food from my children's mouth to pay your greedy act.
To be fair, yes, some people do find great opportunities in Canada. Well, we can ignore the fact that the reality is way more complicated. Let's break it down into 3 main layers. The good, there is no denying that the education system can offer high quality and visible diversity. For many, it is a stepping stone to gain some initial work experience, which is valuable.
No, not because of this attitude, because you know exactly why. Tim Hortons, McDonald's, Walmart, I know exactly what's going on. Why are you
Could someone tell me what I'm doing wrong? I have been applying for a minimum of 10 to 25 jobs every single day for the last 3 months, and I've been doing it consistently. I haven't even received a rejection letter. It says, thank you for applying, and then no word. There's no application status, there's nothing. My last real job, they fired me because I didn't want to take advantage of small business. I have gotten calls and stuff, and it's always, oh, you're overqualified.
Here is where it gets tricky. There's a real sense of unfair competition and discrimination in the job market. Even full-time workers often struggle to make ends meet due to the high cost of living. Job security is another huge issue. Many positions don't guarantee full shifts. You might be officially scheduled for 8 hours, but only get called for 3 or 4. That means people are constantly scrambling to find second or third jobs just to fill the gap.
Like, I'm working 3 jobs, and like some of them, my main job isn't like minimum wage, right? It's like all right, and it's still, it does not seem possible within, like, if I worked 40 hours a week with like this pretty like good job that I have with my other 2 jobs, and like saved up and like all this stuff, it doesn't feel possible at all with just like working hard to buy at all. It barely feels possible to like maintain.
Does anyone else feel like they're absolutely fucking drowning financially? As a single 29-year-old woman, I have 3 jobs, and I'm still fucking struggling, and I'm just getting myself farther and farther into credit card debt because I don't have enough after the first of the month to avoid using it.
The ugly. Then there is the housing crisis, which affect not just students but the entire working population, including skilled workers and families. And let's be real, institutions aren't stepping in to improve real supporting for challenges people are facing. We need to take a look at the propaganda. Canadian marketing has led heavily into emotional advertisement, not just targeting students and migrant workers, but painting an ideal picture for the entire global audience. The message is clear. Canada is better than the US. Canada doesn't have racism, and comparisons to countries like Mexico often reinforce their superior image.
This type of racism and terrorism cannot and will not be tolerated.
Hypocrite.
To compare us to Mexico is the most insulting thing I've ever heard from our friends and closest allies, the United States of America. Last night at 6:35, we received the The biggest threat we've ever received from our closest friends and ally, from President-elect Trump, that they're threatening to put a 25% tariff on all goods coming across the border into the U.S.
But let's take a closer look at their strategies. Emotional ads that showcase not just beautiful landscapes, but a perfect society.
Hey, there's a lot of comments on the internet of people saying that Canada is a beautiful country and they would love to visit it. So I'm going to do you all a favor and show you just how beautiful Canada can be this time of year.
This is why I laugh when people say they want to come to Canada. Door is frozen shut. Can't even go to work. Let's a little.
Political leaders becoming spokespeople, pushing the idea that Canada needs migrants, especially those willing to spend big on education, while they equally implement restrictive policies. And of course, social media campaigns, many of them are backed by the government or education institutions. They highlight all the positiveness, but rarely mention the struggles. Why? Because they are designed to drive revenue through what's essentially Canadian propaganda. Expectation versus reality.
Canada in chaos. What's going wrong? Canada is on the brink of becoming a failed state. Housing market is a disaster. Food prices much worse here than US. Hospitals are dysfunctional. Anger and depression everywhere with no hope. This is how Canadians describe Canada at the moment. But what happened? Let's take a look. In 2014, Canada's GDP per capita was 83% of US GDP. But in 2023, it went down to 65%. At the same moment, Canada's population increased by 9.2%, and US population only by 6.5%. In 2024, the average housing price in Canada was approximately $539,000, compared to about $412,000 in the USA. But the average monthly salary in Canada was only around $3,900, while in the United States, it was approximately $4,700. If you think food prices have risen significantly in the US, the increase in Canada in 2024 was 10.8% higher than in the US. The unemployment rate in Canada is approximately 58.5% higher than in the United States. Healthcare and childcare are more accessible in Canada due to government subsidies and lower costs. However, a shortage of daycare spots and hospital beds significantly offsets these advantages, creating challenges for families and patients. And on top of it, Canadians pay 22% more taxes than Americans relative to the size of their economies. You've seen those signs that say, in emergency, break glass.
Canada has branded itself just as a great country to migrate to, but as the best, a land of full opportunities to their living standards and the society that welcomes everyone. But when we dig into the actual data and indicators, many of which they themselves promote, the story starts to fall apart.
Get behind them!
Immigration policies, programs that seem to guarantee permanent residency, are often unclear, and there are no guarantees, despite school charging over 50,000 Canadian dollars per program, not including extra cost.
Is it just me, or in a really roundabout way, healthcare in this country is not only not free, but it's actually very, very fucking expensive? Like, if you're not paying with money directly, you're paying with a lot of your fucking time. Not only that, but the quality of healthcare sucks itself. And I'll give you two examples. So my aunt, God rest her soul, was told by doctors initially she had pneumonia. when in reality, she had stage 4 cancer and she died like 2 years later. And another work colleague of mine, he and his wife had to go to the Philippines to find out that his wife had cancer. And I was wondering if I was the only one that's experienced bullshit healthcare situations like this, even with what I'm going through and my own like medical insurance. The whole mental health thing is a facade here too.
Housing and diving expenses, sky-high costs, leaving many people drowning in debt. Canada loves to push the idea that everyone's treated equal, but the truth is that migrants often earn less and get passed over for opportunities. Social media is full of stories from people sharing how these ideals don't match the day-to-day reality. Population growth versus crisis narrative. The government and media paint to arrival 3 million newcomers as a crisis to justify stricter policies. And yet compared to Mexico and the US, those numbers are even that extreme. The result? People who bought into the dream feel cheat. Conclusion. So the big question is this: is Canada really the land of opportunity it claims to be? Or is it just a world package illusion? Sure, Canada offers some benefits, but we have seen how marketing and propaganda offer overpromises and underdeliver. It's not just about whether you get permanent residency. It's about the overall experience and whether the dream they sell matches the reality life you will face once you get there. This video isn't meant to discourage anyone. It's meant to inform. If you are thinking about moving to Canada or studying abroad, make sure you do your homework. Dig deeper than just what the official websites and ads tell you. Because let's face it, no one's going to tell you the truth if there's money to be made by keeping you in the dark. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share the video and don't forget to subscribe. We will keep exploring how marketing impacts our daily lives, one message at a time. Bye bye.